We just watched the second biggest movie of the year so far.
Bold claim. Bold claim.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying. I think so.
Well, because Matrix is going to be the...
Viewer discretion right off the top, though. We just drove...
Alert.
Yeah, spoiler, but we also just drove an hour and 50 minutes back to our studio
and we
without
didn't say
talking.
shit.
We didn't even talk about the movie, so
we didn't say shit.
Dead silence.
everything right now is going to be our honest thoughts, our first thoughts.
Yeah,
so,
I have no idea what each other's thinking right now.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, welcome to our video. We are the Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys. I'm Reese.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Dan.
And we just watched...
An indie movie. It's like...
Yeah. Nice movie by Franz Ferdinand.
No, it was a film. Independent studio.
Indie film, yeah.
Independent studio. It's crazy that they were able to get a theatrical release, and it's amazing what they were able to put together. No, I'm just kidding, everyone.
Produced by Amy
We
Spivey.
just watched the second biggest movie of the year so far.
Bold claim. Bold claim.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying. I think so.
Well, because Matrix is going to be the... No, I'm just kidding. So, it was Red Notice, and now it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Incredible.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even know. Yeah,
general thoughts. Let's go. Let's start with Daniel.
Dan's been needing to get some things off his chest.
Well,
so.
without just
Dan's had some problems with it.
Yeah, just humongous problem. No, I'm just kidding. Without word vomiting into this mic to start the podcast, pretty much just all I have to say is finally. Just finally. All of the things that have been my biggest complaints about Tom Holland and the MCU Spider-Man. They pretty much had a checklist, and they were as the movie went along, checked off all those things, and then the cherry on top. Spoiler alert! I mean, I guess it's a given that we're going to talk about spoilers, but we're going to start with the ending. But they fixed the fucking suit. he sewed his own suit.
I knew you would love that.
At
As
the
soon
end
as
of
I
the
saw a
movie.
sewing machine, I'm like,
and it was blue.
No,
Yeah,
the shiny blue too. They went the classic, it was so good. Anyways, yeah, I mean, just dirty boots on the ground combat. It was really, we really saw him beat the shit out of the Green Goblin at the end.
Oh my
really,
God, yeah,
that was vicious. Without, we'll go throughout the movie.
I really like. First of all, I loved the whole intro with all the swinging and stuff because I liked seeing that aspect of Spider-Man, and it's another gripe Dan had with it is fuck, we never see Tom swing. He's just always fucking there.
He did a
And
lot
it's
of
literally
swinging,
I've never seen
more
a
swinging.
Spider-Man movie with more swinging after this.
Yeah, no, seriously,
Which is sick.
Yeah.
we got to see Spider-Man just be his own hero in this movie. We got to see him be Spider-Man rather than him being Tony Stark's protege. And I think that's with this whole reset now, it really gives me hope for the future of Spider-Man. We're actually going to see him just have to do his own thing now. He really is just Peter Parker as Spider-Man, but nobody knows who he is anymore. So he has he doesn't have Tony Stark, he doesn't have Happy, he doesn't have Aunt May, he doesn't have fucking Ned or MJ. He's literally doing it by himself. He doesn't have access to Stark tech anymore. Which why we see him sewing his own suit. So it's just gonna be him pretty much starting from scratch, but with all the knowledge he has being Spider-Man and all the shit he's seen. So it's just gonna has potential for some really cool stuff, which I'm fucking excited about.
There were some intense emotional beats in this film. Holy crap, man. I mean, we all looked at each other so many times just being that just happened. That was insane. Some of those moments were just, I mean, obviously the main ones right off the bat when those portals opened.
Oh my God, that was fucking insane.
That was some of the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Ever.
Really, seriously.
It's just fuck. It's weird seeing it. We all knew it was coming, but it's weird seeing it for the first time. As soon as he turned around and you noticed that it was Garfield's mask, everyone's like,
I didn't realize at first because I was just oh, he just opened the portal. Okay, but that in itself is fucking crazy that Ned just opened a portal. Used the sling ring, but I didn't realize what it was, and I was like, holy fucking shit.
I'll touch on this right away too. One of the so first of all, when all the Peters are sciencing the shit out of everything, love that.
Yeah,
and they did the meme.
Yeah,
they did the pointing meme.
They had
I'm Peter. You're Peter. We're all Peter.
And then they had this running joke of both their best friends ended up trying to kill them and then dying. And then when Ned's I promise I won't try to kill you, Peter. And then Garfield
pats him on the shoulder.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Ned leads in the comics becomes Hobgoblin. So,
really?
Yeah.
that's it's a nice illusion there. I don't think they're gonna go that route though.
Jeez, I didn't know that. That's
no, I don't. No, I don't think so. I think they fucked with enough shit.
I really like the idea of him being like a fucking wizard. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he floats down on the with the cape.
I feel like he would get along with like as a pairing with Shang-Chi.
True.
After seeing that, they have like that kind of like bubbly personality.
Yeah, and he would like look up to him and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, yeah."
That payoff was just so funny though, because Doctor Strange at the beginning was just like, "Go see a physician." When he was just trying to explain, I was like, "Oh, sometimes like my mom says I have mystical powers and I get tangles in my fingers. Like you should go see a physician." And he has a sling ring, opens the portal. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow, I can do that now. But yeah, like that whole beat was crazy because like I think we all knew it was coming. But
Just not when.
we didn't know when. Like I think everybody, like the predominant theory was that he was gonna get overpowered by the Six at the end of the movie, and then they were just gonna fucking appear. But it makes sense that they would have been there the entire time.
I was gonna say I loved that they had a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
I didn't
Me too.
expect that. I did not expect as much screen time as we got. Like we got to see.
But it wasn't like forced. Like it was like it felt like it was needed, and like the fact that they were like mentoring him, being like, "Hey man, like don't make our same mistakes," and like helping him out that way. It was just like unreal.
I loved the little, like Toby was obviously like the mentor to all of them because he obviously has seen the most action.
He's old as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks good. He looks good.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he looks
he looked
incredible.
great,
I'm totally
yeah.
kidding.
But that like
because of the poor was like, I've been Spider-Man for 75 fucking years.
He has a walker.
he's like Captain America at the end of Endgame. He's like, no, I don't think I will.
He's on
Peter?
Green Goblin's like glider. He needs it
Who
to
are
move.
you? What?
What'd you say?
I'm gonna need you to speak up there, man. I can't hear
Come
you.
here.
I'm Ben Parker.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed the like the little subtle things they threw at Garfield. Like they were kind of like pointing out the fact that like he is the shittiest.
Oh,
I was
100%,
just
yeah.
about to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I'm like
the
the lamest one or whatever. They're like, no.
He's like, I just
You're
fought a
number 3.
amazing.
He's like, okay.
No, you are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I just fought a dude in a giant rhinoceros mechanical
Machine,
suit.
yeah.
No, that is really cool, man.
It's funny though because like I'm not a fan of his movies at all, but like I liked him
As a Spider-Man.
as a Spider-Man.
And a Peter Parker.
And
He was
now
great.
that I've seen this movie, like I love him.
That's Peter Parker. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is, you know what? Like, watch this movie. As I was watching the movie, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and rewatch like the Garfield movies. Probably
I'll
to
tell you
get
what,
disappointed,
Two's
but
still unwatchable to me. Like I can't fucking stand watching 2, but like 1 is like passable to me. I know. I'm sorry.
No, but
probably
like,
gonna,
honestly,
like,
like both Toby and Garfield in this movie, I feel like had better like acting or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like they just performed way
they
better.
all
in this
had
movie.
this great chemistry
Yeah.
on screen, though. I found, you know,
I want to see
and-
more of that.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
give me a whole fucking multiverse movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I
like
know.
Enter the Spider-Verse or
Yeah,
let's do
like
that.
at the end too, and they were like, "Oh, like brothers" and all that stuff, and they were like hugging. I was like, "I'll cry right
yeah,
now."
it's
I'm
phenomenal.
Like,
It's
amazing.
great. It's great. It's so weird. It was so weird sitting there and like just the fact that we're getting so much like fan service like in a movie. Like as fans, we've been so conditioned. I feel like to like, you know, you're ready to get a little bit of fan service, but also to be disappointed. Where it's like they weren't scared. Like they went all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like,
Full
let's
stop.
give you guys as much shit as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Like as much shit that'll make you happy.
Like even down to the score elements that we got, like everybody's original score, at least a rendition of it. Like we got to hear Doc Ock's theme when he's coming through the highway, which is say we got to hear a little bit of Toby's theme. We got to hear Andrew's theme, and like even Electro. Like when Electro first wakes up, you hear like the Hans Zimmer theme.
Okay, but how about the credit scenes quickly? Like Doctor Strange trailer though, heavens,
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
holy, like that looks sick. They brought in some stuff from What If,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
Dark
that's
Doctor
insane.
Strange. Like that's nuts.
That's insane. And the whatever graph fucking that monster, that
Oh
tentacle
yeah,
monster.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I forget the full name.
Well,
but-
they're even like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I saw like a nod to Peggy Carter's Captain America. Like there was like the Shield logo, like with like the
Really?
multiple circles.
Oh,
So, like,
I didn't
it-
notice that.
I could have missed it, but it looked like a nod to that. So it looks like they're doing like live action What If with that movie, or at least like they're gonna pull a lot of elements from
cool.
it.
I mean, the big rumor is, spoiler alert if anything comes true of this, but the big rumor is that because of however the fuck they try and fix this, it sends a beacon out to the multiverse and Professor Xavier hears Wanda.
That'd be pretty wild.
Wow.
It'd be wild if they brought the Fantastic Four in because of that. That'd be
Well, we
fucking
already
so
know
sick.
the 4 are coming. Like,
Yeah,
that's already on the
I can't
slate.
wait for that. I'm a huge Fantastic
I'm assuming
Four
that's
fan.
going to be mainline continuity and not multiverse related.
Okay.
Because like,
That's
who the
cool.
fuck wants to?
Well, you know, Kevin
shit they've
Feige's
already
like
done.
15 years down the road, already like
Yeah.
crafting everything right now.
Kevin
The amount of
Feige,
stuff they
like,
pulled together in this movie, like insane.
What I want to campaign for is Ben Affleck Daredevil Multiverse coming back.
No, he just said he said he's done with IPs.
But I mean, here's the thing: it's like
I don't think so. He's gonna come back at Batman. He's gonna do Justice League Part 2, and then he's gonna get his own miniseries after he does an adaptation, The Return of Bruce Wayne. Sorry,
Speaking of Daredevil,
highly specific.
I say it out loud.
Speaking of Daredevil,
dude, I'm so excited about all this shit because Daredevil might be like my favorite television show ever, like the Netflix version, and it's so exciting that we get to see Charlie Cox reclaim his role. Like just that one shot, like of his cane on the screen, and everybody loses their minds. The whole theater starts.
How he
screaming.
catches the brick?
Yeah, he caught the brick.
How the fuck did you do that? He's like, I'm a really good lawyer.
Can you imagine if they challenge it?
No, I'm fucking Daredevil. Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if they all like challenge him though? You're like, that's fucking horseshit. You're not fucking blind. They start going off on him.
They start
fucking
fighting.
liar.
You're a fucking superhero, Archer, you bitch. You lying bitch.
Fucking lying to us.
He just takes his cane, fucking snaps Ant-Man across the head.
Speaking of that, you know what I really like about this movie is so first of all, I like how self-aware it is, but in a Spider-Man spirit, like not self-aware in like an annoying Guardians of the Galaxy way, but like it's self-aware in like a really cool way. And they kind of break the mold, I think, in terms of like the structure of like that kind of like Marvel cookie cutter sort of formula to some degree. And I don't know, they take some risks like in this movie. They did shit that I did not think was going to happen, right?
100%.
Like I did not think they were going to kill off Aunt May. I didn't think that they were actually going to, I don't know how long this is going to stick, but go through with erasing like Peter from like their existence, even though they hint that, you know, fucking she like still is gonna remember or whatever. Even like the way they handled like the villains too, like
At some
the
point,
villains get a ton of screen time. Like I was not expecting that.
you never know which
How many
side
they
they're
were,
on for the
at
most
least.
part.
Yeah.
Like they keep flip-flopping because they're like,
Yeah.
wait, do we believe him? Do we just go along with it? Like I thought that was
And Doc Ock being good and then staying good at the end.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking sick. Like he's like an integral, like kind of like he's one of the main reasons why they won that fight.
100%. Yeah.
There was this small moment when I think it's Jamie Foxx that says, like, I missed the old you or whatever, and he shocks him and he flies out the window. I'm like, please don't blow the chip out again.
Yeah.
I was expecting that, and I was like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
he does get redeemed at the end of Spider-Man 2, even though he dies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really hope they keep that. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
it's so,
That
like,
was my whole worry with going into this movie because they had a very tall task of like keeping the retribution that those characters got in their own movies. It's like, okay, like I was worried, like how are you gonna make like I was hoping it wouldn't be like a Darth Vader thing with like how they kind of retconned his story in the new Star Wars
Don't even
movies.
talk about
but
that
that's
with
what I
me.
mean. Like I didn't want that to be this movie with like Doc Ock and you know the other Spider-Man. But like there was a moment in the movie where I was worried. I was like, okay, like are we just gonna make these characters just like laughable? Like, oh, they happened in their movies 20 years ago. Now they're in this world and they're dumb. But like they didn't do that. I thought they were going that route like 40 minutes into the movie, but then everybody had their full arc, and when they were all in Aunt May's or Happy's condo, and then like that whole plot twist happens, which by the way, holy fucking shit, that Green Goblin fight in the condoplex
that was sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was
really
worried
good
that they were
floors.
gonna like scale down his power levels because we see him Toby gets his ass fucking kicked in his movie. So like
Yeah.
the fact that like
he
they carried
essentially
over.
has like a superhero, super soldier like serum.
100%,
in that movie,
yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
I'm
he
glad
made
they.
his own or whatever.
I'm glad we saw that to like the next degree in this movie. It's like, okay, how can we scale that power to Tom Holland? And he got his fucking ass kicked, which was so incredible.
It was
to
cool
see.
seeing like the genius side of all of them too, like the scientists, like
Yeah.
all the Peters like working together, but even seeing like Norman working at it and like Doc Ock and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like it was cool to see.
I like how they explain too, like how much more advanced like their universe is compared to like Toby and Andrew's.
Yeah, like he holds the
for
arc
sure.
reactor, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. It's like comparable to that what he had,
which
which
is
is
fucking
like
crazy. And like
he
he
spent
even
a
says
whole
it
fucking
straight up.
he spent an entire fucking movie trying to get that.
Yeah.
and
Or
he
like that
didn't.
constructor machine, like it's still like kind of hands on, but it's obviously more advanced because like really like from the times they're getting pulled, like Spider-Man 2 was what 2004, or something like that.
Yeah.
So like going by that continuity, it's like they're going off of technology from
technology
that
from
time.
that,
yeah.
Right. Or 2001 for Goblin, but like since the snap now, it's technically like what 2024, 2025 in the MCU.
Yeah.
So like it's a huge jump. So it's like, hey, by the way, like.
And I
let's
like how
solve all your
they're
issues now
they're
that we have
aware
the
of
tech.
that. I like how like they kind of stay aware of that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Speaking of like showing how smart they are, because that was like another thing, like another one of the check boxes is like showing how smart all the Peters are, and particularly Tom Holland when Doctor Strange throws him into the mirror dimension, and he's just like, oh, you know what's better than magic? It's fucking math, bitch. And then he throws Doctor Strange is like he throws the mirror or not throws it back at him, but he just like he uses his own spell against him just through math, showing how fucking smart he is.
Yeah, doing it on the fly like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I really like. Also, by the way, how Doctor Strange was incorporated into the movie. I mean, like they weren't like dependent on him. I really love the magic side of the DC and the Marvel universe. And I don't know, I just like the mythos around Doctor Strange and like his lore. So kind of like integrating that into a Spider-Man movie is like sick, because like we've read it a bunch of times before, but to actually see it is like fucking awesome.
That, the other cool thing to me is like one of the best like comic team ups of Spider-Man's is Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
B, it's fucking Daredevil. Yeah. And then C, you get like all the Deadpool stuff. So like the fact that we got 2 of like the most famous team ups from the books in one movie, plus fucking multiverse other Peter Parkers is like what? Like all of a sudden it was like, okay, like Far From Home was good, but like I have zero desire to rewatch it 98% of the time of my life. It was good, but it's a good memory. Let it stay that way. This is just like
I'll watch this.
I'm gonna rewatch this for sure.
Yeah, like you can't even fucking compare.
There's so many things to find.
Daredevil alone being in it is enough for me to be like, even if anything else was in there, I'm like,
And not only that, like the ending of this movie, because like now it's like a clean slate. Now you have Daredevil in this universe, so you have the opportunity for Spider-Man and Daredevil to team up. We don't know where Daredevil is in this universe, like if they're continuing or if it's a soft reboot or whatever. But the fact that like we got Vinny D'Onofrio as Kingpin now confirmed after Hawkeye is just it's coming together, so we could see a Spider-Man Daredevil team up against Kingpin, which could
be sick. Or even
amazing.
if even if Daredevil's just like low key and he's just like protecting Hell's Kitchen, but like they have like
just an interaction.
They have gargoyle chats every once in a while.
Yeah, they just have like little interactions
up there, being like, "Sup, how are you?"
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
Speaking of little moments too, there was a nice moment for Andrew that he got at the end, saving his
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was
loved
unreal.
That's one of the things that got spoiled for me, which was like we kind of predicted it.
I was gonna say we kind of
like,
knew it was coming, but it still sucks to get it.
Like see it spoiled.
I saw 3 things. I saw him get electrocuted in a thumbnail on YouTube, by the way.
Nice.
Andrew getting electrocuted by Electro when he's like strung up like that. I saw the still of Toby in normal clothes, which threw me off when I saw it because I'm like, So I just thought he'd be in the suit. And then
that was sick when he like when he did the little like he's like, shut up, don't worry, I got it. Like that was sick. Yeah, that sucks though. You got that spoiled, but like him
I
saving.
I got the fact that Toby was in the movie spoiled for me too. Someone liked a tweet that had a clip of the conversation between those 3 in the Statue of Liberty, where it's like the shot where you can see all 3 of them, and I'm like, oh my god, fucking serious?
Those hero shots when they like all land on that thing.
Oh yeah, it was so sick. It was so sick.
I mean, I gotta say too, like even the fan versions that people were like saying, oh, it was leaked footage, but it was just fan edits. They got it pretty fucking close. Good, Like they were really close. Like even down to the poses. Like they were really close.
You know what else I like too is like the camaraderie where they all like kind of meet up mid battle and they're like, wait, we are not doing this well. Like, we got to figure it out and like work together, and they actually like kind of discuss it quickly, but then they're all so smart that they're like, okay, like we'll figure it out, and then they just start like fucking shooting webs together and shit. And I was like, oh, this is so sick.
And that's where you're seeing the difference between the Spider-Mans, because like Toby and Andrew, they're like, I fucking just work by myself. Yeah. And then he's like, well, fuck, I'm with the fucking Avengers. Yeah, like,
he's
like, who? Huh? The Avengers? What is that, like a band? Shut the fuck up.
But it was cool because they all brought something. Like obviously Toby brought that experience of being like, hey, don't end up like me, and then Andrew brought his experiences too. And then but it was cool that they didn't just leave like Tom Holland to give nothing. Like he was like, hey, like
he's like, hey, you old fucks, come here, I'll show you how to work as a fucking team.
It's also cool to me how they threaded in like the idea that they are kind of the same person still in a way. Because like they would like finish each other's sentences or like finish ideas, and then you're like, fuck, that's cool.
I love
like they are different people, but like there's a thread of them that's the same still. And
the
like,
running thing of like Toby having it like in him, that's incredible. That they like, I love that they weren't scared to just like mention that, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like we have like web shooters.
Does it come from somewhere else? Like
what happened? Do you ever get a web
blockage one?
Yeah, that's great.
There's a lot of really good stuff in the movie. I think, to your point, I think it definitely does have more rewatchability than Far From Home.
Yeah, never watching the other ones again. No, I'm kidding.
I've watched Far From Home like a little bit, like a couple times since it came out, but like I find that movie is like so just like kind of like tied to what's going on in the Marvel universe at that time, and this one is very. It's obviously. It does work as a standalone movie, but I mean, you need to know what happened at the end of Far From Home to really kind of know what's going on. But it's like its own self-contained. It's like the first like self-contained Spider-Man story. I feel like you know what I mean, where it's like Iron Man is like that shadow is like out of the picture now.
Thank fuck.
And it's not like a shadow of Doctor Strange anymore. It's like that team up. You know, I don't know. It's hard.
But even that like thing of like, oh, you need to see the end of Far From Home, but like they fucking completely squash that bug in 30 seconds. It's like the 30-second scene with Matt Murdock. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're clear of all charges. It's like, and then they just forget that, like that whole thing happened. Which I'm like, I don't care. I didn't really care for that plot point anyways. So they literally just.
I'm glad they didn't hang on. Yeah, to be honest, because I don't care. Yeah,
they literally just use it as a way to like reveal Peter Parker to the world and like, oh, by the way, your charges are clear because Matt Murdock's the fucking best.
But I mean, that does also, but it doesn't. They don't like stay on it, but it becomes like a motivating factor for him throughout the movie, right?
Yeah.
Because like that whole him being like outed is like the whole reason why everything fucking goes crazy, right?
Here's a small thing for me that like usually the like Marvel jokes don't land very well with me personally in most of the movies. So I'm just like, like you did a funny thing in a part where it probably should have been serious. A lot of them landed on this one, and I was like genuinely happy. Like, oh, like when they're like holding each other, and he's like, oh, you must be in a lot of pain right now. Yeah, I'm in a lot of like that. Like for once, I was like, oh, like I actually laughed at that one because it was like. It was nice.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like forced, I guess you could say.
It tends to
like,
work with Spider-Man because he's like one of the
exactly.
That's the thing. You're putting Spider-Man humor in a Spider-Man movie as opposed to putting Spider-Man humor
like
in
they
a
just felt like they
belonged.
belonged.
You know what I mean?
Like,
what I meant like before when I was saying like I was getting uncomfortable with the Marvel jokes though was like when Doc Ock was throwing quips and stuff. I'm like, okay, like when he was like joking and he was being kind of dumb when he like first showed up and they put him in the cage. I was just like that's when I was like a little. Why is he like that? Like I don't know. Like it was he had such a serious role in the other movies. Like you know. And,
I see that.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't want.
I kind of found that too. I just like I'm glad they didn't hang on that either.
Yeah.
Because like if that kept going, and even like
the handcuffs,
like
and
Peter,
shit,
MJ, and Ned like throwing them back at that, like laughing and shit at him. Like I understand it and it made sense and it was a good joke, but it was like I don't know.
I didn't want that to be the whole.
Keep that memory exactly. It's like keep that memory alive and like okay, just get past it. Just,
like sure, he's confused and it's a funny bit that he's just like came from 2002 and now he's in this like new world with like nanotech and shit. And like okay, I get that quip and then that like just move on from that. And they did. He got his full story arc and like I was great. Like by the end of it, I was really happy with how him and the Green Goblin and all the villains really and Sandman
was
big
cool
too.
This is just a big spectacle. Like it's just crazy. Like the spectacle. Like,
I'm actually pleasantly surprised that Sandman had as big a role
Yeah.
as he did. I wasn't expecting that at all.
But I liked it. Like I really liked
great.
him in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a
feel like
great
they
arc
pulled
in 3, and I think it's like kind of like a great. He didn't have like as big of a role, but like he was still. No, I agree with you.
I think they literally used it. They pulled a Zack Snyder in the Snyder cut when they used old Superman footage. They for sure pulled that shot when they like cure him. And he like pulls his hand by. It's like a reverse shot of when he's like melting in Spider-Man 3 when the cave. Like he had the exact same facial expression. He looks like super young and stuff. So I'm not. I could be wrong. I could be spitting out of my ass here. But from when I looked at that, I was like, that's for sure like footage that they used from Spider-Man 3. It looked like at least to me.
Oh, by the way, Willem Dafoe in this movie too.
Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking the best.
Yeah, the de-aging they did on them was like fucking great too.
Yeah, it looked really good. It looked
like
really
you can't even. I mean, like you can't tell they're a little older still. Like even though they've digitally
But
done some shit to them,
it
wasn't so noticeable. Like
it wasn't
like,
distracting.
This is odd.
It was very believable. Like it never took me out of the moment to think like,
I was so like thrown. I was so weird seeing Norman Osborn in a fucking hoodie just walking around Feast talking to like Aunt May. I was like, what is that? It was like one of those Endgame moments when like the Hulk or like Professor Hulk hands Ant-Man like 2 tacos and I'm like, what is this movie? Like what's happening right now? So it was just like it was so jarring to see, but it worked so well.
Yeah.
I also love what they did with the suit at the end because he had like the suit, but then he had like the hood. So like he was very kind of like that's actually kind of more of like a hobgoblin kind of like esque suit. I liked how they did that. Sort of, but
yeah, but it's cool because like Willem Dafoe has like those very prominent. Like, I don't want to call him a goblin, but like he has like pointy ass like features.
Yeah,
right?
it's very distinct.
And then in the comics, like Green Goblin is literally a fucking green guy with huge ears with a hood. So it's like that's literally the closest we've got.
Yeah.
Although when he smashed the OG Sam Raimi, like they did a really good restoration on it though. Like when it's hanging on the dumpster, like it looks fucking sick. Like I don't know, like the shine or whatever they they did to it, like it just looked really good, and I was like,
And I love that homage to it always being on the corner of the chair.
Yeah,
in the Raimi movies
It was
too.
in the corner of the dumpster there.
Yeah. Huge parallel.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here,
Yeah.
everybody. We're gonna do our closing thoughts, and then we're gonna rate it. So thanks for tuning in. As always, we've been your friend in the neighborhood fanboys, and here we go. Here's our final thoughts.
You can go
What
first.
do you think? I can go first. Well, I'll tell you what. I have no complaints. I was pleasantly surprised the entire time. I really like. I can't even pick anything off the top of my head. Like I really can't. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think it was amazing. I was clapping in the theater. I was laughing. I almost fucking cried at a few parts.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and it gave me the full experience. And again, I think just seeing all the Spider-Man work together and actually like discuss like the deep things that they all have to go through, like to be who they are and be the best they can be, like really like hit me, and it was great. So those are my.
That's what
final thoughts.
superhero movies are about.
That's it. Yeah,
Watching that and then thinking, how can I apply some of these to my own life, right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
So on that note-
I'm kind of on your side. I really don't have any immediate kind of complaints, so I'd probably have to rate a 10 out of 10. It was a huge spectacle. It gave me everything that I wanted. I'm pumped to see where the movies are gonna kind of go. I would really like for it to take a little bit more of like a closer, like zoomed in, like direction on
grounded.
Spider-Man.
I agree.
I think there's room for that now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they couldn't do that coming out of Avengers Endgame.
Right,
like
no.
you just like wouldn't be able to, it just wouldn't work.
It's perfect now.
Now shit's reset, and like let's zoom in a little bit on Spider-Man and do some things that have never been done. But yeah, I would say 10 out of 10 as well right now.
Yeah. At first I was gonna say 9, and then I thought about it in my head, and I'm like, why? Because like I really can't like.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's
I'm gonna give it a 10 too, just because like I've been like a huge Spider-Man fan since I was a kid, and like I've liked the MCU movies like thus far, but they've always just been too connected to like Tony Stark, and like I've never really put that light on Peter. So yeah, this literally fixed everything, like you said, and I also really got like Spider-Man PS5 vibes.
Yeah.
Like
a good
it just
call.
in the fighting, and just like
Yeah.
obviously at the end, like he's going to college, he has his own apartment, it's not a nice apartment, he's making his own suits, down to even him jumping out the fucking window at the end. I'm like, this is becoming the perfect like college fucking Spider-Man, and like I love it.
Yeah.
And like two things, like quickly, but like I'm sorry to cut you off, but we never touched
10 out
on.
of 10.
We never touched on the Miles Morales hint, so that's like two Miles
that was
Morales
sick.
hints,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
fucking
awesome.
awesome.
That was awesome.
So,
Yep.
so like speaking of like PS5 Spider-Man, like that post credit scene with Eddie Brock, the fact that the symbiote, so Eddie Brock, or like the Venom that we know is not in this or in Tom Holland's world, but there's a piece of symbiote left, which means that they could introduce a new Venom in his universe. And then they were like touching at like, oh, there's got to be a Miles Morales somewhere, there's got to be a Black Spider-Man somewhere. So like, imagine like since it's all reset, that would be so cool if like this Peter like takes a new Spider-Man under his ropes and they have to fight like a Venom like in the new PS5 game or whatever. But
Flash
anyways.
Thompson was Venom
At some point, yeah.
at one point, and like Flash Thompson, I can't remember if they were childhood friends or not, but something, I don't know.
Flash was
something-
always the bully, wasn't he? He was always his.
I can't remember though. Oh no, Eddie Brock. Sorry, Eddie. Oh, I'm tripping. Oh, also, I don't know if I might have also been tripping in the theater too. But when he got the keys to his apartment, I was like, is this fucking Toby's apartment?
I thought it
gave those
was.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it turned, you see like the bed and everything. I'm like, I'm trying to remember. Like, is that the fucking same layout as like his
Here's your
apartment? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought they were gonna do. That it was like, okay, your rent's due on the.
Don't
first
be
of the
late.
month.
And
I
I'm
was
like, oh,
rent.
he's not Toby. He's not gonna be late on rent.
So
It was great.
Yeah, I mean,
was
yeah,
great.
I guess like how I started the podcast. Like this had a tall a tall task of things. There was a
Tall
lot of
glass of
things.
water.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that
Huge
a lot
glass
of
of
people
milk.
wanted from this movie, and like this movie did a really good job at pretty much checking off. I think what everybody pretty much wanted from this movie, at least for myself, and from the MCU Spider-Man. I've had a lot of things to say about the MCU Spider-Man, and like the fact that this redeemed pretty much all of my criticisms. Just for that,
I have no
I can't.
complaints
I
on that.
have nothing to complain about. Like it's that I got to see my favorite Spider-Man characters all on one screen, and I loved it. So yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any other MCU movie that tops it. So for that, I have to say it's a 10, right? Like that was going through my process. I mean, like the only two I could think of to this day are like still Infinity War, still really up there. So I'd have to like put this one next to Infinity War, but they're two different movies. So because it's Spider-Man, it's 10.
This movie has reminded me why I've always been such a big Spider-Man fan my entire life. You know what I mean? Like this was the ultimate fan service for one of my favorite superheroes that
I was literally crying when they all like came on screen together. I'm like, fuck. Not even when they teamed up at the end. Like I'm talking like in the fucking standing in the room doing science shit.
Just
I was like, wow.
I'm like, this is the best shit I've ever seen.
The roof conversation too when they first jumped down.
Yeah.
Have that,
we got that scaffold.
They have the heart to heart. I literally teared up.
Yeah,
I was like, that's the best.
cool. It was amazing.
And he like finishes his thing like, with great power comes with great responsibility, and like, and then you see Tom Holland kind of realize like, holy fuck, like this is real. And,
and also Aunt May's death, or like Aunt May / Uncle Ben's death, is like a nexus moment now in the MCU. So we've established that is something that can't be changed. Whether it's like in the other two Spider-Man's case, it was Uncle Ben, and this one it was Aunt May, and because they said the exact words, with great power comes great responsibility, followed by fucking death. Next event. You can't change it. It has to happen.
And also, just like the way this was shot for the most part, obviously there's still like Marvelisms and like especially
it was very
in the
different.
daylight shots,
like,
but it was different. It was surprisingly different, and it had surprising amounts of color for a Marvel
depth of
movie.
field. It wasn't shot at F45 the entire time.
Yeah,
and a lot of handheld, but in a good way.
Yes,
that was good.
Like
I
when
liked
they're
it.
in the apartment and they're looking at the, they're going to the window looking at the helicopters, like at the very beginning, and I was like, whoa, we've never seen this. Like,
very
before.
dynamic
Like,
camera moves.
And John Watts was quoted as saying something along the lines of like, I took a lot of inspiration from Raimi's filmmaking style for this, and you can tell it right away. It's literally like go watch Spider-Man 1 and then go watch Spidey 2 with Doc Ock, and like the difference in look is like the exact same feeling I had going from like the last Spidey movie to this
I agree.
one.
Yeah,
100%.
So,
they did one of, I don't know about you guys, but they really did like one of my favorite superheroes justice, and like that's. I applaud Tom Holland for that. Everyone, like, you know, Zendaya, like Willem Dafoe, everyone that was in that movie, like, did fucking an amazing job.
Yeah.
And
there wasn't one bad performance.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have to sit with it more, but like, this is like literally right up there with fucking Birds of Prey for me. I'm just kidding. It's right up there with Spider-Man 2. As being
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, holy fuck, like this, and I wanted that going into it, and I think that's what I got out of it. I was like, holy fuck, this movie is like, this is fucking up there.
I'm pumped to see it again.
That's all I'm thinking now. Is like, I just can't wait to go watch it 45 more times and break it down. I'll bring a notebook to my next screening just to write shit down.
So get to the theaters, watch this movie. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I think we're still going to be talking about this. Maybe we might even do another episode if you guys want. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll watch it a couple more times and maybe we'll go through it. But
see if we're still like not, because like we're in the honeymoon phase right now. So I'm curious to see what a couple more viewings.
Spider-Man 4 weeks out.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it and I'm like, it's a 7. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. It helps us out here at the channel.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in as always.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Until next time.
It's late here, so we're gonna go.
Good night.
About to pass out.
See you later.